Alright, so it's obviously been a while since I've done a video on here again. I always say I'm going to commit, I always say I'm going to do more videos and I'm going to keep up to date with stuff, and then I just never do it. Life gets in the way, and then next thing I know, I think it's been like 3 months since I put up a video on here. But everything that I originally did the last video on that was planned and was done, I've now changed my mind on everything again. So something that I wanted to do for a really long time was basically try and give myself a platform and an avenue where I could have lots of different vehicles to do different things. And obviously trying to do that on, obviously at the end of the day, kids' budget, while still trying to have a full-time job and everything, it does get a bit tricky. So a lot of the stuff I've bought over the time that we've built, there's been the VE drag ute, there was a Gemini in there was multiple ZXs, there was... Yeah, I've been through a bit, and I get all the way to the end of it, and then I kind of just go, you know what, this isn't what I want to do. And then I decide to sell it and buy something else and start again. But something I've always wanted to do has been burnouts, because it's just what's popular. Everyone loves it. And the vehicles that I've got and the vehicles that we've built just aren't designed to do it. We've done a lot of stuff, obviously, in relation to racing and no prep. Like, we basically built the ZX 3 times to do no prep, and we built a full VE ute around just racing, which we didn't end up doing. So I've now changed my mind on everything we're doing again. So at the last video that I did, I had 2 ZXs. I had obviously the turbo one, which is the one that's been around for yonks and always will be. And then I had the other one that we're building to basically be a drag car. Now, that plan stopped. So George, my partner, has an R34 Skyline. So the plan originally was that she was going to build that to go drift, and then I was going to build the ZX to go drift, and we were going to go do drifting and whatnot together in 2 separate cars. The only downside to that was, unfortunately, the ZX, it's got all the power, but it's got no ability. It's got no steering gear. It's the diff in it's not, I'm not going to turn around and say it's amazing. It'll get through, it'll do its job, but it has been obviously had a rough life. But the ability of the car would have eventually been there. Now, the Skyline, on the other hand, it wasn't going to have the power. It's got all the ability already, because it's got the best suspension, it's got a bulletproof rear subframe in it, it's already been gutted, it's already been everything, which is giving basically the perfect opportunity to start a really good platform to go drifting with, which is something that, once again, I do really want to do. But I can't obviously have like 2 or 3 drift cars, because it is just pointless. So what we've decided to do, which you can see here, we've got the ZX that I was building to be a drift car. It's pretty much finished. So it had the injection on it, which obviously was the 8 individual tubes. We've gotten rid of that, and just because it was just kicking butt, and ended up just putting just a Victor Junior manifold and just an E85 carb, which you can sort of see in there hiding, and obviously the cleaner on it. So really clean, really tidy, really simple build. It's pretty much to the point where it was done. We then started to get it tuned, started getting it idle, get the stuff worked out on it, and it just got hot, just immediately. I don't know where I've put it. It's over the side over there, but long story short, I just had like a little speedway radiator just across the front here, because these cars just do not give you a lot of ability to do anything in these fronts without obviously cutting a lot of the subframe up, because obviously the radiator goes on the other side of the headlights, but that's where these small blocks sit. So we then decided, let's just basically gut everything. Let's restart and rebuild the whole front of the car, and let's do a rear mount. I don't think anyone's done a 300ZX rear mount yet, so we were kind of winging this. As you can see, we've gotten rid of the windscreen, the back, cut everything out of the back, and the radiator was basically going to sit in there on the angle. We're going to cut the floor out and do all the stuff and basically start all over again. We got sort of thinking, we got to talking. I don't think there's any point in cutting this car up and fully restarting to try and build a purpose-built drift car when it doesn't have that ability with the steering and the subframe, and the car itself just doesn't have a lot of support when it comes to drifting. It doesn't have a lot of aftermarket support, because it's just, these cars just aren't a big thing. The Skyline, on the other hand, has freaking everything. I haven't shown it on the channel in ages, but yeah, it's literally been sitting in our carport, and then it just sat out in the paddock for like months and months. It's probably 8 or 9 months it's been since anyone's even seen eyes on it, but it has all the ability. So the plan with that Skyline is we're going to do a Barra Turbo, because between me and Dad, we've both really wanted to do a Barra for a really long time, because why wouldn't you? I mean, the support on them at the moment is just ridiculous. So everything's scrapped, everything's changed that we're going to do. Skyline we're going to build, and it's going to be obviously the Barra Turbo deal. It shouldn't hopefully take that long, because the car is literally drop a motor in, wire it and go, which is kind of what we're wanting to do. And then the original car that we were going to use for drifting, we're now going to do burnouts with. So it's got a bulletproof small block in it. The thing is nuts. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do it naturally aspirated. I got the Camaro in the back, which it's nearly finished as well. It's got a small block in it, very similar, but obviously nowhere near what the other car is. So it's just obviously got a, just a Nettlebrock manifold. It's a little single barrel carb on it. The guy that we bought it from is just a pleb, but we've proved it runs, we've proved it drives and everything, but it's just not going to be much to go out there and have a lot of fun with, because it's designed to basically just be my streeter. It's just going to be something I can go out there, have a bit of fun with, at the same time, maybe go do drag and drive, sort of keep evolving it, do a lot of the street classes, go do roll racing, because all my cars aren't registered, so I can't go do anything. But this car will give me that option to. So we're basically going to pull from the actual top of the motor, I guess you could say. So manifold, carb, linkages, cleaner, everything off of the black drift car, put that onto the Camaro, which obviously leaves the other black ZX now with nothing on top. So doing burnouts, there's obviously only one thing you can really do with a burnout car, and that's a blower. I'm going to try and put a photo here if I can find one, but way back in the day, like back when I was like 19, the Turbo ZX, the OG, this guy, it actually had a supercharger on it. So instead of the turbo deal that's up the front now, it's been through multiple evolutions of different engines and different setups and different motors. It actually had a supercharger on it. So big 671, meth carbs, all the good stuff on it. Sold all of it, did the turbos, mucked around for the turbos for a while, and then I bought another blower, and then I bought a hat for it. We set all that up and mucked around. And then I was going to go do burnouts with it, but I couldn't justify it because I didn't want to damage the car, because then I felt bad, because if I was going to set it on fire or break something or damage it, I didn't want to do it to that car. So then we decided, well, let's just get rid of all of it and start again, and we'll go back to doing turbos, but this time we obviously did the single, which is what's on it now. So I do really want to do a blown deal, and I just don't think I can do it in any other car other than a ZX. It's just what I want to do. So that's where that idea came from. So this car we're now going to strip. We're going to pull the motor apart, pull a lot of the drifting gear out of this car that I don't need now, obviously, and put it into the Skyline, which then leaves putting a blower back on it. So going to do something very similar. Just going to do a 671. Going to do a hat because I really want to do something injected. I've already got a pump. I've already got a lot of gear here to do something injected. I've obviously just needed the blower and the hat. So it shouldn't hopefully take us too long. The car's already wired. The car runs. It's really healthy. It's really happy. I now just need a blower. So that car we're going to strip. We're going to pull it apart. We're going to put all that gear into these other two cars. And then obviously we're going to build the Skyline at the same time because it doesn't need that much. So now what I'm doing with all this stuff, it makes it a lot easier to document, do these videos with, and obviously post online now, because each car kind of has its category, which is exactly what I want to do. The Turbo ZX, I've tried to do everything with. I tried to take it to Fridays, I tried to take it to Power Cruise, but I can't go race it because it's not teched. I've never bothered teching it because back when we first built it, once again, when I was 17 years old, that wasn't my goal. My goal was Power Cruise, it was Fridays, it was all that kind of stuff. So we're going to gut it again. We're going to cut the cage out of it, rebuild the cage, put a smaller turbo on it, and we're actually going to go race it. So that gives me a whole line of footage to start filming when it comes to the turbo car. I go to Willowbank, I can go to Warwick, I can now start racing it. I'm going to go do QDRC in it, try and win a championship. The Skyline, I can now go do drifting, but it's going to be a dedicated drift car. It's already got all the gear in it, but it's a good starting point for me. It's got a lot of aftermarket support. The black ZX, the one that I was going to go do drifting with, is now going to do burnouts. It doesn't have a lot of support, but obviously for a small block, it's got all the support in the world to go do burnouts with. And then obviously the Camaro behind me, it's a turd. It was only sort of just started, but it's a perfect street car. You know, I'll put this E85 carb on. The goal with it's probably just put some nitrous on it to go out there and have fun at rolls and whatnot. Fingers crossed all that comes off. So I'll have 4 different avenues to do 4 lots of footage, to do 4 lots of evolving. It's obviously going to help me. It's going to help me do what I want to do, which is obviously the social media stuff. But it's also got to give, you know, I guess myself and you guys a lot of stuff to sort of keep up with, because it's just going to help me grow, help the vehicles grow, and then we can just start lining a lot of this stuff out. So I'm in the middle at the moment. I'm pulling all the gear out of the Skyline because it's got a lot of parts in it. I'm going to pull the manifold off this car, see how it looks, pull the manifold off the Camaro. I'm going to try and get all 3 of those done now. So obviously I'll take you guys along for that, see how much of it I can get done, and then obviously we'll see at the end of the video where we're at. So sort of what I was touching on before with this Skyline, because I don't think I've shown it on this channel before, but the previous owner's actually done a lot of work to it already. It actually was a street car that he had registered, and then he ended up gutting it. So obviously in the rear he's cut the whole floor out. I don't think it's sort of see from here, but a lot of the subframe that's in it is really good stuff. Like, he's welded on all the braces. I don't know if you can sort of see it, but rebuilt the diff in it. It's got really good coils in it, which, yeah, he's put a lot of effort into. But a lot of the vehicle obviously is sort of very bare, so it comes with a lot of like really random parts in it, like, you know, center caps, which obviously I'm not going to use, but like there's wiper motors and sort of a lot of bits and pieces in it. There's also all the rubbers, which is obviously a really good win. But a lot of the main stuff on the car that we're going to use is already here. For example, like, yeah, it's got all the rubbers, it's got a wiper blade, that'll be freaking useful. A lot of the brake stuff, clutch stuff, like random indicators, it's like a headlights around. A lot, like, obviously a lot of this stuff I'm not going to use for a drift car, but it's got the dash in it. We've tacked in a cage. It's not fully finished yet. I've still got to go over a lot of it, and then we'll gut the doors and whatnot to make it a little bit more suited for what we're doing, because I don't need a lot of that stuff. But like, when I say this thing is light, like, it is so light. He's gonna put, like, you know, the extended studs on it. We've sort of cut up the front of it a little bit. We cut the firewall out because originally this car was actually going to be a small block, which that plan's obviously changed now. George bought, it was just like a 283, I think it was, and we were going to mount it in the front of it. And we bought a bunch of gear for it, and hence obviously why the firewall's cut out, and there's a piece of sump in there as well that we cut up and whatnot to see if we could get it to fit. For some reason, these compared to the ZX, obviously there must be something different. I would assume it's the body. I think the subframes are pretty much the exact same, but it did not fit at all. It was such a bad fit. So they sort of went, well, you know, we're going to have to cut up a lot of this car. Is it worth doing it? And we decided it was, and then we just parked the idea and never did it. But I'm hoping, because the Barra, for example, like one of the ones I'm looking at, it's a front sump, so it should fit in this area quite nicely, and then I can pretty much just weld in that firewall piece back in and should be happy days. But yeah, it's got coils in it, it's got a lot of the steering gear, it's got extended this, extended that, you know, raised this, whatever you want to call it. The only thing it doesn't have is brakes, so obviously that's going to probably be why it rolls so well, but it's got no brakes or anything. But I do already have calipers off one of the other ZXs, so I've got majority of it here, and obviously the front's all cut off. I'm like 98% sure he crashed it. He didn't tell me that. He said that he hit a bump leaving his house, and that damaged some of the stuff, but I'm gauging that he crashed it, because yeah, the front frame rails were a little bit bent, so that's why we did cut them off and weld those plates in. Yeah, I'm not gonna say he crashed, but I'm probably gonna assume he crashed, so that's okay. It does not bother us one little bit. We've already cut it off and fixed it anyway, because the fronts, I don't know where they're gone now, so it's like 8 months ago, but yeah, the fronts you could just see were a bit pointing the wrong way, so I'm gonna keep pulling that stuff apart, get a bit of a list of what we need to get started, and obviously work out what's useful in that, because some of that stuff might actually be useful in here now, and then a lot of the stuff off the black car here will be used in that, like for example the hydro and whatnot, which we ended up getting set up really nice in this car. I don't know if I'm going to leave it in here or not yet. Probably will, but the other car would need one regardless. But like, when I say this car was like done, this car was done, so it's okay though. I can use the rear wheels, use the front wheels, because I don't need any of that for drifting. Obviously a lot of that motor setup's getting reused, so it's okay. And then basically we're just going to take from here, put it onto there, and it should be happy days. So I'm going to finish stripping all that, and then yeah, we'll start pulling some motors apart. So I'm meant to be picking up the Barra next weekend, which will be really good. I can test fit it pretty much next weekend. And yeah, we should be able to start getting some stuff done. So I'm going to pull the exhaust off it. I'm going to pull, obviously, the manifold off it, take the lines off it, distributor out, knock those coolant lines off. Basically, got to strip the whole front of the car. So obviously that pipe will go, all of the coolant lines will go. Get rid of the breather tank over the other side because that's where the surge tank's going to go. Distributor out. Everything else should be staying though. Everything else should be happy. The only other thing I got to do is I'll probably just move that water pump. We'll have to probably just take that pulley off the front of the balancer there because obviously that's where the pulley's going to go for the mechanical fuel pump. So get all that pulled apart, make some room in the front of it, and then yeah, that'll basically just pull off, put over on the bench, and then yeah, the purple one will basically yank it off, put it over on the bench as well, and then yeah, just do a swap. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it on a Camaro yet, but should just be, I've already got the gaskets and everything, so it should just be an unbolt and bolt back on. So we'll see how we go. Fingers crossed it all works that simple. So big afternoon. Summer Nats finals are on, so obviously you got to go watch them. But all the work done on the black car, so it's ready to go for the blower and for the manifold. So everything's over the bench over there. You can sort of see in that general area. Exhaust is off, manifold's off, carb, all that good stuff. So yeah, this motor is ready to go for the manifold and the blower. So as soon as it's here, whack that on, and then obviously sort out a hat for it. So I took the wheels off it, so I got both the big ones off of it. I ended up putting back on the Outlaws, so they're the ones that I actually run at Grau Racing. So the turbo car runs its 2813 usually, but for Grau you got to run a 235, which is obviously what these guys are. So I ended up putting them in. We've actually stretched all the guards, so they surprisingly fit okay. The car will just have to come up just a little bit, and then for the front I've just got these ugly ass things sitting around the yard that I've chucked on it just for now to get the fronts off it, because I put the fronts on the Skyline so I can start trying to work out what we need for it, because it currently has no rotors, no nothing on it. It's purely just the hub assembly. So I put them on the front to start working out fitment, start working out height, and then getting these worked out. So you can see in there I had a set of calipers that I ended up getting mounted, so they're just my old Z32 ones. So they just to start to give us an idea of what we need. But already the front of this thing looks 1,000 times better, so that's where that's at. It's got obviously a way for a motor and whatnot to mount that in it to work out the proper ride height. And then in the rear, obviously we're just going to sack it. I love these 4-door things when they're just sacked in the rear. Going to set it up just to run 17s. It doesn't need anything crazy, so I'm just going to use the factory runs that it comes in, paint them black, and happy days. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Hopefully next weekend we'll get the Barra here and we'll get it mounted. So that's sort of the plan. Get it in the car, get heights worked out, get it welded in, and then I can start doing everything else. Going to obviously build a manifold for it. I'm going to mount the turbo up front. Obviously it's going to be out the bonnet. I don't have anything here that's not out of a bonnet. So get all that started worked out, get the cold side worked out, and then start doing the interior. So this car should come along pretty quick, is what the plan is. I'm hoping to be able to get it to at least a Matsuri this year. I want it done for winter, because that's when sort of us as a team excel really well, is in winter. None of us like the heat, none of the cars like the heat, especially the turbo one. It's like out for the count, but as soon as you get it in winter, the thing's a freak. So gonna leave it there for today. I'm gonna get a video up next weekend once we get that motor in, because like I said, these cars are gonna come along pretty quick, so I've at least got pretty frequent updates on this car. So same as the black car. As soon as I get the blower worked out and it's here, it's just going to be full steam ahead as well, because I want that car done as quick as I can, preferably for April, for the Fridays event in April. That's going to be the plan. If not, it's sort of going to be mid-year, once again, hopefully in winter. But the Camaro should be nice and quick, because everything's here for it. It's just bolted together. So, and then obviously paint it black, because we're not having a purple car. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't have any on me at the moment, but shout out to Savage. Brody G10 at checkout will give you 10% off all the glasses. 2 Savage is a huge part of what we do here. I've got them represented on the cars and they help me out massive. So 2 Savage, jump on the website. They've got some gold safeties coming out soon as well. I've got some stuff up on my socials in regards to those gold safeties. They are a banging pair of glasses. So do sign up. They release like the 15th of January, I think, around that, or 13th of January, around that mark. So very close to this. So jump on their website, Brody G10, shows them you guys are with me, we're all together, they love it, I love it, etc. So righto, I'll see you on the next video. I will try and do it next weekend. We'll see. I always say that, and then 3 months goes past before I post the next one up. But thanks guys, the support means a lot. I'll get the next video up soon.